A central Minnesota man is fighting for his life after being caught in a devastating fire with several family members. His stepbrother did not survive. David Schumann shares their heroism and what a huge loss the death is to the town of Forreston.
There was no reason to think an ember fallen from a cigarette would result in this.
And they started to try to kick it out. My dad gave it a good stomp, and when he lifted his foot up, a big 6-foot flame came up, and instantly he was pretty much engulfed.
Ralph Swarm was repairing the roof of his 2-story barn in Forreston with his son Eric and 4 others when the fire started. Eric made it out with 2nd and 3rd degree burns on his arms.
I think the 2nd floor was up in less than a minute. Flames everywhere.
Ralph was severely burned on most of his body. He died 3 days later. His stepbrother, Rick Sharber, Eric's uncle, is now in the ICU with renal failure, having endured 9 surgeries since the fire.
It's the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my life. They gave him about a 50% chance of surviving this.
The big family is leaning on each other, made stronger by this tragedy.
You never think your life would change in a minute.
This cross is on the spot Ralph was dragged to when the others were finally able to help him out of the barn. While still inside, he pushed his niece down the stairs and she went to call 911. He saved her life.
I can't tell you one person who didn't like my dad.
Hilarious.
He's always a talker. He was the icebreaker. He was biggest smile, biggest hug.
In Forreston, David Schumann, WCCO 4 News.
The other friends and family in the fire do have minor burns and several broken bones and other injuries. They're raising money to try to replace what was lost and for gas to visit Rick in the Minneapolis hospital.